Okay, it's time for the lightning round.
If I saw someone cosplay him, I would throw up and cry.
Hell yeah, we're gonna do it. It's the multiverse.
Ride or Anmwe, baby.
You are listening to the official Anmwe Anime Podcast. This is the way.
All right. Listen, episode 2, Anmwe Anime. Yo, we are also coming at you with video. But as always, you can catch us on our podcast. As usual, I am Tanaka here with my ride or die.
Hi, it's me, Ueda.
Okay, and we have something awesome for you guys. Listen, so we've been to a lot of events this year, you know what I mean? And one of them in particular, stood out to me. You know, something happened, it rubbed me the right way. It was whatever, but I found myself, for a little bit focusing on people of color, so that's POCs, for those of you who don't know. And so out of nowhere, I look across the way and I'm like, wait, hold on. Is that Sub-Zero with little Sub-Zero? Oh, man, I can work with this, you know what I mean? But because, as some of you may not know, I'm an action photographer by trade. So sometimes, these events can get a little boring, but with that, I was like, what? And, in retrospect, I think to myself, dang, I just rolled up on this person, and they were willing to play around. They could have been like, get out my face or something, ain't that right there? Like, hey, what you doing? But no,
it's happened before.
It has happened before, but that wasn't the case this time. And so this gentleman, with his little boy, work with me, and we made one of the best shots that always stands out to me just because of how it came together. It was fun, at the time, little did I know that this man had been cosplaying since 2017. He's a big name in the game and has what seems to be an infinite arsenal of epic cosplays. Among some of the magazines he has been featured in, they include Cosplay Zine, Cosplay Alliance magazine. It seems as if he has, it just the most recent jaw-dropping one that I saw was he did Hawkman from the new Black Adam movie, right? He's been Kratos, he's been Spawn, Omni-Man, Homelander, and is also very known for his He-Man or He-Soul. He doesn't shy away from being an ambassador for Black heroes and representation matters. And so, without further ado, I just want to let you all know that the first official guest and cosplayer here at the Anmwe Anime Podcast is Demetrius Holt, my man. Hellspawn Cosplay, the one and only. I mean, you hear the crowd. You hear them.
Oh, gosh, stop it.
Oh my God. They're just...
Calm down, audience. Calm down.
Our fake audience, sometimes they just can't contain themselves.
It can still be fake and it still be uncomfortable. Stop it.
Not only is he so humble.
Now, because the first thing that comes to mind is that one episode of Fresh Prince when Jar Jar Gabor was on. She's like, please, no. You know what I mean? Am I showing my age? Am I showing my age? Let me know.
But hey, look, real talk, man. It's awesome to have you here. Time is something that we that we could time is something that we can never get back. So we appreciate you giving a portion of yours to us, And we'll start off with something general, man. How have things been? We're
honest answer. I'm managing. There is a lot of, I'm in this place where I'm basically in development hell. I have done everything that I could possibly do to bring all of the projects that I'm a part of to its natural point in place, not natural conclusion, but natural place where, it's no longer up to me and my actions to dictate where it goes. I'm waiting on other people to make decisions. So the He-Man PSAs that I did the Kickstarter for last year, if you're not familiar with that, last year came up with an idea with my man-at-arms, and we decided to remind these little kids out here that their Black heroes do exist, by having more representation of said heroes in animation form on their televisions, one way or another, whether it be through streaming services or whether it be in schools, like morning announcements type deal. But we have the plan laid out for it. And in order to do 30 seconds of animation, it costs about $1,000. And the animator illustrator that we acquired to become a part of this project is an Emmy award-winning illustrator named Oliver Banks. And he's down with the project all the way for it. And he said, yeah, you get me $1,000, we can get this thing done. I'm like, all right, cool. So Kickstarter, asked for $1,000 just to get this one PSA out, and we ended up with $20,000. And so we have 5 PSAs lined up to do, and Oliver just completed the intro to the PSAs, which is like a minute and like 32 seconds, which is only supposed to be 30 seconds, but he got so like into it because we started throwing in, like, Oliver just turned 40, I believe. And if you are an individual of our experience,
that's a good word. That's a good word.
Right. We have a certain type of aesthetic in our minds about what we like to see as far as heroes and in the representation of such. So, in this intro, he kind of got carried away with the representation and imagery and homages to Silverhawks, Thundercats, Clash of the Titans. I mean, you even see a little bit of One Piece in there if you're an anime fan. So it's it's like a hodgepodge of like action and nostalgia, so that we can pull in those investors. But here I ended up connecting with the people over at Sunman, which is like Wally Easton's company or product, and they just recently partnered up with Mattel to bring Sunman officially into the Masters of the Universe. And with my whole cosplay deal and all this other stuff, they connected me to Mattel in a way that I've had several meetings with the head of the inventors department, between him and Fisher, between Mattel and Fisher Price. They're kind of together. And right now they have an entire pitch from myself, proposing that me and my team be the boots on the ground for Mattel in places that they normally would not be able to target, which are Black spaces, so and they've been, I sent that in February 26th, and still waiting, and we are in the middle of April. And I just recently had contact with them because I got asked to appear or be a part of Free Comic Book Day that's coming up on May 7th. And it's a part of it's in association with Third Eye Comics and Prince George's County, Maryland, and Greenbelt Mall in Maryland, or in PG County. And there was a perfect opportunity to nudge Mattel and be like, hey, do you see this? It would be so great. It would be so great to have
if we had this, right? You know what I mean?
Like here, and the guy came back. The guy came back and said, "You know what? This is a perfect example of what we were talking about." And I sent it over to them, but it's still going through the PR department, still going through legal.
Shop chain,
But the fact that they're still talking about it and not just outright shutting me down, I'm hopeful. It's just, again, I'm just waiting for something big to happen. Between that and then we got the convention season starting to come back up again. So yeah, like I'm managing my anxiety for having something possibly major come up or just be supremely disappointed.
Yeah, it's hard being stuck in like that kind of like purgatory, waiting to see what, like, are we going this way, are we going that way? It's hard to kind of plan things because you don't know. So yeah, we know a little bit about that.
We know a lot about that. I mean that, and it's funny that, like, you're talking about that, and I know we've been talking lately about, and this is like on a personal note, when you've done everything that you can do and you have to just make piece with that. You know what I mean? Like, because you're like, there's something else and I could add to. No, I've literally done everything. You know what I mean? And now, and you have to somehow just find peace with that. So look, that was like you just, man, that's a personal conversation me and her have been having. Like, it's crazy that was your first, like, you know. So,
relatable.
Yes, very relatable, brother. But yeah, man. I mean, I understand, and like you said, and like we're doing, there's a lot of things going on right now. You know what I mean? Like cosplay season is picking up, so that's a good thing to focus on. I think Jay, she's got something for you, right?
Yes. So, just real quick, obviously switching gears, but it's okay. We just keep it going.
Okay.
So you had mentioned showing your age with the whole Fresh Prince
experience.
Yes. Well, his wisdom, we'll say that. So I know you have a birthday coming up, right? And I'm also a big fan of like cultures, learning about different cultures. Us being Haitian for one, and just moving the Haitian thing with like our love of anime and comics and all that kind of stuff. So as I was doing some research, I saw that you were from Portugal. Is that correct?
Yeah, I come from a military family, so both my parents are Air Force.
That was like my.
Yeah.
Oh,
so...
okay. Because I was like, how did Hellspawn, Rocky Man, come from Portugal? Like Portugal, I was. I saw that.
I'm black. I'm black. I've got Blackfoot Indian in my family. That's for sure. That's like some true blood type shit. But no, I'm black. I am from here. So I mean, I'm just a military brat. That's
military brat. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
We also know about the military. So
veteran owned. Anyway.
Veteran owned.
All right. So real quick, you did an interview at Counsel in 2019, and you said you wanted to be a proponent for the proliferation of people of color in mainstream media, right? So since then, have you noticed the change? Could you explain? And are there any key barriers you consistently see to achieving that goal?
Okay. So as far as have I seen any movement in that? Have I seen any changes? I have come into contact with a lot of people who have been paying attention, and it was just a matter of them getting to me to tell me this. And it just depends on what medium they feel most comfortable in doing things like that. So, case in point, I just started focusing on TikTok. Like I got on TikTok as soon as we hit the pandemic, because I needed something to do. We were all sitting down. Like I was still going to work because I work for my parents. But as far as going to conventions, as far as doing meetups or anything like that, that was dead in the water. So, having something to be creative, something to have that keep those juices going, TikTok was the best way to do it.
Absolutely.
And I didn't really get, too far into it because again, like I was just doing things and didn't really have like a path or a vision as to what my TikTok would look like. And it wasn't until either earlier this year or late last year it was early this year when I decided that I was going to do the affirmations and focus on He-Man and being able to, get some positivity out there and then make sure that I represent my brand of cosplay.
Right.
And it kind of took off on its own.
Right.
Soon as you get like that laser focus as to who you are, things move.
Right.
And I just started doing things within brand of myself and people who had already been investing in me. Like this t-shirt is from Carson's Corner, right? Carson's Corner, great partnership, helped out with the PSA, the Kickstarter PSAs, and got a lot of stuff out to people, still is. Did some customized jackets for me and still selling those. but yeah, I did a couple of advertisements for them with just using the trends on TikTok, and people started gravitating towards like, oh, who's this? Who's that? Whatever. And
where are they based out of? Carson's
Corner is based out of New York. But,
oh, wow, nice.
But yeah, like they're I think he's traveling every now and then for his job, but his main hustle, his main job.
Right.
But yeah, and I started seeing duets of small children, like 2 and 3 and 4-year-olds. Some were like 7 years old or whatnot, and they were either mimicking me as I pulled like the sword from my back, or they're just watching the things that I've done with other cosplayers that represented them, just in a heroic or in a regal fashion. And it hits you, and then you just like, dang, like these kids are really out here paying attention.
Right.
And then my son stood up on the table. Like, mind you, my son just hit like 2.5 years old, but it was months ago when he stood up on the table and just held up a sword and just kept saying, "Daddy." I'm like, where does he see this? I don't do this in front of him. Right. He's just like, "Daddy," and yeah, like whatever influence I have, it's hitting. And absolutely. And I'll never claim it to be something that I've done on my own, because without nobody can complete the journey on their own. So it's always going to be like a team effort. I'm always going to say, yo, my folks who shared me, or the folks who joined in on this with me, has helped made a lot of people feel like they were seen.
Yeah, spot, right?
You know what I mean? So again, like, I will never claim that this was, I might have been a catalyst,
right?
But these folks have always been here. They just needed a little bit of a kickstart, or some little bit of inspiration to do what they've been doing, so that they can, inspire folks that that follow them. And I'm all the way for it. The table's big enough for everybody.
Yeah. Everybody eats, right? Yeah.
Right. But I mean, there's some. I mean, wait, what kind of podcast is? Are we cussing? Can we cuss?
We can cuss.
There's some folks I don't fuck with. All right.
You feel me?
They've made themselves abundantly known that that we will never fuck with each other, and that's cool. Right. So therefore, whatever luck they have, not even to the best of, I don't wish them the best of luck. Fuck them.
Right.
Just stay out of my way. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make sure everyone that I like, I want to see everyone black win that I fuck with.
I feel you. Damn, see, he's doing it to me. It's coming out now, right? I feel you.
Like I'm almost 40 years old to be so diplomatic to the point where it's detrimental to my mental health to break my own boundaries for other people's like sentimentalities. Get the fuck out of my face. So yeah, no, not doing that.
No doubt. But thank you. He's giving us some epic answers to some of these questions. Is
great.
Is it me? Is it you? It's you.
It's me.
Yeah, let's get him.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, I've seen your TikToks, I've seen your Instagrams, and even me we love anime, nerd culture, everything about it, and seeing your cosplays honestly inspires me. Like, I didn't even used to color my hair, and I was just like, I can do that shit. Like, so you've like really lit like this fire in like a lot of POC cosplayers, and you've done interviews for Men's Health, which is just huge, and Cosplay Central, and just many others that T even brought up earlier. So is there like a certain role you would be interested in playing? I don't know if you do like any acting or see yourself doing some acting in the future, maybe. But like, is there a certain role that you'd be interested in that
when does this get released?
This will be released probably in I want to say 2 weeks from in about 2 weeks time, because this is the second episode.
Okay. All right. So if this is 2 weeks from now,
right? Oh man.
From what I've been told.
Oh man.
From what I've been told, this video is supposed to come out sometime in the month of April. So by the time people hear this thing should be out.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
If it's not out in the 2 weeks, then I can't help you. I don't know what to do. Because I'm just going off of what I'm told. But anyways, last year, like, I don't know if you like, okay, my name is Hellspawn. You know, the reason why I gravitate towards Spawn is because back in '97, I got exposed to the toys before the movie came out, and I read a bunch about the comics and basically caught up with who he was because he had been out for a few years by then. But yeah, I naturally am. I identify with Al Simmons on a lot of different levels, even back then when I was 13. But so I've got tattoos, Spawned, and all this other stuff, and I thought of like my name. Like I was always asked, like, why, what kind of cosplay name will you have? And I'm like, well, I want to have cosplay so damn good that people thought I made a deal with the devil. So you know what I mean? Like, so therefore the cosplays were hell spawn, type shit. To play on words, right?
I like it. I love it, actually. That's nice.
So it's always been a dream of mine, to actually like have like those specific power set, spawns or whatever. And long story short, I have a Spawn cosplay that is a very expensive movie grade latex rubber suit. And last year, King Vader flew me out to California, LA. And if you've looked at some of the footage of me in front of a camera, there is a certain, since this is going to be 2 weeks into this, 2 weeks later, he's got his short film, Blade versus Ghost Rider.
I noticed a share from you about that in particular. And I was like, but go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, so I'm going to be in, like, but me being there is a flex for Vader because he's bringing Spawn into the Marvel universe for a specific reason, and that is basically just to be like a red herring. And yeah, he flew me out there last year, and I did one fight scene, and that's all that they needed from me. And yeah, I can't wait. I still haven't seen the special effects, but I've seen the Ghost Rider skull, and that was damn near amazing to it. So yeah, I have, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, I am the spiritual, if not the actual successor to Michael Jai White's Spawn.
That's what's up.
So if we're talking about Hollywood production, this was filmed in LA. And there is some Netflix money behind it because he's got his Netflix dreams, situations or whatever. So, I am considering it because I don't see no other like live action major production, including Spawn, anywhere.
Nope.
I know.
Yeah.
So, and if I got a CGI cape,
right.
Yeah, I'm Spawn, goddammit.
Yeah, damn right. Yo. And on side note, I'm loving the fact that our questions are leading to big reveals. You know what I mean?
I know.
No, but that's awesome, man. I can't believe you had that opportunity. Yes, I know production takes a little bit of while, but to that collab, like, come on, man. Like, if anybody, like, that's you right there. You know what I mean? Like, who else? So.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I couldn't think of anyone better, to be honest. This is like, honestly, congrats.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because honestly, like, that happened in year 4 of my cosplay journey, right? So I'm thinking like, damn, like I've done, if you look at everything that I've done everything that a cosplayer could possibly do, in order to affect some sort of change other than just repeating what they've already done.
Right.
Like Cutie Pie Sensei, amazing cosplayer. She's, when she's like a repeat champion, You know, like I can consider her like Jordan. Like she's got rings, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like she's worked with Marvel. She's been on Disney Plus. Like she's you know getting video game endorsements and you know and like she's working hand in hand with these companies. Like that's like a cosplayer's dream. She is doing it, right? But she's doing the same thing because she is on that level. You know, like at this point, I can say that I've done everything that I think I wanted to do at least once. And now I'm like, well, I'm just living through my son's eyes at this point. Like anything that I do now will be for his benefit. And, you know, that's going to be a new frontier. I think every time that he may open his mouth, if he even wants to do this, he may not even want to cosplay as soon as he gets old enough to say, no, I'm good. You know, at that time, I'm just like, okay, you know, I'll just do this on my own. And, you know, I'll have fun with it still because it's something that cosplay is forever. You know what I mean? So, you know, at this point, like I'm not doing anything for myself. You know, I don't think I was ever doing anything for myself other than just having a hobby. And it turned out to be something for other people as well.
Right. A platform. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Listen, hey, I'm most attracted. Was it me or you, Jay?
You know.
Yeah, all right. So, you know, there is something that you touched on that so it's making me jump around. So because this one right here is it's important. Okay. I like no matter what anybody cares about anybody, this one's important. So you know, you got a lot of cosplayers out there now, right? That, you know, they're trying to actually make it big on the cosplay scene and, you know, hungry for recognition. And this is like at all stages of the game at this point. I interact with even like a little kid at an event, and once they realize some of what, you know, me and Jay was into or whatever, like it'd be a little kid. I get like a business card from their mama or dad. I'm like, look, I got a business card. Like we got business cards on top of business cards on top of business cards. Like everybody just got one. I'm just like, oh, all right, yeah, everybody's just trying to make it. So listen, so the ones out there, all right, who are hungry, you know, like because I see some people putting some real work in there, you know what I mean? Because like they they hungry, they really want it. What's the best advice that you could give them? Or if you could go back to 2017 and help Spawn and let him know that you know, certain things, you know, like is there some sort of fast track or secret or what should they be wary of? I mean, it's really where you want to go. But to those people who's like, nah, this is, you know what I mean? I got, you know, like what?
So many landmines in your question. Okay. All right. So as far as, is there a fast track? I want to say no, but then that's inherently a lie, depending upon who you are and what you look like. We do live in a very superficial society. You know, we do live in a place where, or in an age where people who look a certain way, conventionally attractive, you know, do have advantages over those who may not be, right? That is a fact of life. That spans not just gender, but also just aesthetics, you know. A woman has a better chance to catch eyes than a guy does, simply because a woman is a work of art. No matter, you know what I mean? That is.
I mean,
I didn't see you disagreeing, Jay. I didn't see you disagreeing with that. She's like, I mean, I'm just.
That's a fact of life. That's something we all just have to just get over and just let it go. You know, you could be in cosplay groups and you can post your cosplay as a, you know, you can post your cosplay in a $4,000 suit, you know, and it can get like 100 likes over 3 days, whereas a woman can post her cosplay that's nowhere near as expensive, but because of what she looks like, she'll have 2,300 likes within 2 hours.
Indeed.
You know, but that's just the way life is. So accept that, move on, continue to mind your business and do good work, fellas. They get upset that a woman gets attention, because there are guys who get upset that like it's like why are you competing with a woman? Like, shut up!
It's
like,
not fair.
right? Like,
yeah,
no, like that irks me.
Yeah.
So there's that. Also, put the time and the money to do what you want to do. If you want to be a podcaster, you're not going to go out there and get like $15 microphones, or you know what I mean, like, you know, or equipment that
you right.
that you got, you know what I mean, like, just
put the time in, get the banner, you know what I mean, like,
get the banner,
right? You
get
know,
a step stool, step on that shit, like,
you know what I mean? Like,
I see I hit a nerve.
just a little bit. Just
I see it a nerve.
I mean, no, we're chill. We
Right. But yeah, put the time and the money into what you want your craft to be.
Indeed.
You know, because it's going to become apparent that someone cut corners somewhere.
Right.
And again, whether it be aesthetics or it be a professional eye looking at it, you're not going to get the attention that you want. You know, you're not going to get those companies, like, you know, some people who are like really into anime, they want Funimation to like be following them or to share them or something, or to, you know, acknowledge them, senpai, acknowledge them, some bullshit like that, you know. And it's just and because they look like they did not put the time in, they didn't iron their cosplay. Why are you taking photos in your mom's living room with your cosplay? Like, where's the photographers? Get the professional photos done. You know, like put time. And if you can't do it quickly, take your time.
Take your time to get there.
Yeah, it takes, usually when I'm building a cosplay, it takes me anywhere between 4 to 6 months to get something complete in a way that I am looking for it to be complete. You know, and like, you know, there's it, and I'm not, everything that I'm saying is not criticizing anybody. It is basically, I'm letting you know what the facts from what I've seen based on the results that I have had.
Yeah.
You know, I no longer have goals. I no longer have goals because goals change between now and 6 months from now. But results are forever.
Facts.
You know, I can always say, well, I did this, I did that, I did this.
Facts.
And nobody can take those away from me.
Right.
Okay. So there, like I said, that goes to that side of what cosplay can do for you if you do for cosplay, as you know, as much as you want it to. Understand, and like, these are all lessons that I had to learn because I come from a rougher era when it comes to sentiments and sensitivities, right? I come from the Al Bundy era. I come from the Archie Bunkie era, you know, Archie Bunker era. And so there are things that I never experienced that so many other cosplayers and so many other artists did when it comes to like either generational curses or just traumatic situations where their lives were put in danger, their health was put in danger, their bodies were put in danger. You know, they were mentally like abused or anything like, and they use cosplay as an escape from all of that. But some do not utilize therapy in a way to help be as healthy as possible. Right?
Yes.
And so they end up projecting a lot of their traumas onto folks like myself who have no experience in what they've been through.
Right.
So therefore, what I may have said early on in my career or what I may have done early on in my career has come off as like a complete and total like dismissal of who they are as people. And therefore I was worthy of being canceled. So
cancel culture.
Right. And the thing is, how can you cancel someone that has never been counseled? You know, that's why I'm always, I've been like, myself and Head Nerds in Charge have coined the phrase counsel versus counsel. Counsel versus cancel. Right. So
now that's how I love that line. How can you cancel someone who's never been counseled? You know,
right. Like we don't.
Like, and on a personal note, counseling, therapy, very, very important.
That's right.
It's all around the board.
I mean, I'm at the point now where I've been talking to my therapist since January 2021, and we've gone from week to week to once a month, and now she's talking to me about going quarterly, and I'm like, hold up now, where do you think you're going?
Right. Get back here.
No,
Right.
but yeah. So when I say all this to say, if you're going to join in on this this cosplay thing, you have to understand that there are a lot of different people with a lot of different things going on with them, and you never know where they are on any given day. So instead of trying to fight what they're saying to you about how you make them feel, you know, just listen to them and understand that your presence does affect folks in a way that you may have never experienced before. So learn from those instances and try to guide yourself in a way that is respectful for everyone in everyone's spaces. Because that's what this community is a bunch of different spaces that are trying to come together under one banner, but it's so difficult because there's so many young people and there's so many people who are set in their ways that there's so much. It's so easy to just get into this groove of canceling somebody or having a mob mentality against one person when those people don't even know who the person that they're hating on is. Right. You know, and then you end up going completely against your ideals in the first place just because you hate a person. You know what I mean? Like we live in an era where you hear the song, you know, Hinata isn't black, you know, because there's so many white folks out there that like to remind black people that we're cosplaying characters that are not black and that we shouldn't be cosplaying them. And all these people just want to live and just want to have a good time and not be reminded that their races shouldn't, you know, is a factor or whatever. But yet here we got black people telling other black people they shouldn't cosplay as characters simply because that character is white and that character is, you know, evil or Nazi adjacent or something or another, i.e. Homelander. So I've experienced that entire, you know, the entire run of hatred coming from my own people, right? You know, simply because they didn't like me because of what was said about me or what I had said before that I didn't understand was a landmine, you know? So it can be rough. It's been a rough 5 years for me.
I can imagine.
I can imagine. And to imagine, like, I saw the shift as soon as I did He-Man and things became different for me. Things became really different for me, and I've got pictures with every single one of my enemies. You know, because that first year I was just chilling. I was like having a good time, you know, meeting folks, whatever. And now I was looking through some Piccolo photos. And I'm like, damn, like I got photos with people that talk shit about my son. You know what I mean? Like,
right? That's dark, man. You know,
right? You know, yeah, I'm like, yo, this is where we at. All right. Just a helpful reminder. Yeah. Okay. Now the other part of your question was like, how can, like, there are no shortcuts.
Well, on that note though, I mean, you know, and I know you already know this, but you know, looking back, seeing those people who like, wow, we was tight, man, you know, but I mean, I think that just goes to show that like you're doing something. You know the phrase, man. If you don't have haters, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't have haters to a certain extent, like there's always gonna be jealousy out there, man. But that is really messed up. That, you know, oh, when I was doing this, it was cool. Now that I'm starting to transition, you know, like. Now we, you know, I can just imagine your DMs and you know, the stuff that gets sent your way. So
the hate comments are real, man.
Yeah.
But see, and the thing is that they don't come from white folks. You know what I mean? And like, and there was like I was hashtagging Proud Boys because I was ready for them. I wasn't ready for my own people to be coming for me. You know, like
I thought he's on the same side. Like what is this?
I know,
you know what I mean?
it be your own.
It be your damn own, yo. And
like, for real.
And like at this point now, it's like I'm not numb to it. I can just manage my expectations of people better. You know, because it all comes down to managing myself. Right. Not managing other people, but managing myself. So being able to acknowledge and realize that some people are going to be who they are and they'll never change. Thank you for letting me know who you are.
Yeah.
You will be cut out of whatever I'm building with all these other people who decided to work with me as opposed to against me.
Yeah, I really appreciate you showing me right now and not later on when I was deep into, you know what I mean? Like, so now I can just cut you off and be, and be done, So yeah, sorry, I got a little carried away with that one. Some of these are deep, man. You know what I mean? Some of these run deep, but is it you, Jay? Would you? Because he got me hyped. So so what you got for him?
So like with me, this really is like my big last question. My last big question.
Big question.
But so you were a men's physique champion, or still are. Look, right, love your cosplays again. So what does your diet and workout routine look like? And do you happen to like switch it up depending on who you're cosplaying or choosing to cosplay, just so you can like make it right? And I'm not saying for like the people, because people like they love to judge, but like for yourself, because you mentioned like 6 months because you want your cosplay to look just right. And I completely understand that, wanting to make everything right to the way I like it. Fuck whoever doesn't like it or however they feel, but as long as I'm happy with it.
How about you just say it? You want to say how you get so fine? How you like?
That's not even where I'm at right now.
That's essentially what she's saying with all this extra.
Look, that's not even where I'm at right now. I'm focusing on myself.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Seriously though, workout, diet, because you you portray a lot of powerful characters. So
right. Well, there's a reason for that. I've watched enough movies back in the day where people get stuck in whatever form they're in because of some odd magical spell. And if I was to ever be in cosplay and be stuck as one of my characters, I'll be all right.
Right.
I will be all right. So like that's always in the back of my mind.
I'm stuck as
like
Kratos.
Right.
Heaven forbid.
Shucks. Yeah, no, so like I am dictated by a lot of my own my youth's pop culture. But no, as far as so I have gotten to I had been, when did I start bodybuilding? I started bodybuilding when I got married, so that was like what, actually no, 2015. I didn't start because I started after my ex-wife did. And so that was 2015, and continuously doing shows, and like I did like 9 shows within 2 or 3 years, and that last I did 3 shows in 3 weeks in 2017, back to back. And your body gets to a point where it has a level of retention and muscle memory. And so there are things that I used to have to do that I don't have to do now when it comes to like certain workouts. But then also my life has changed in the last 5 years than what it did before I was in cosplay. I was a sentence that I never get tired of saying. I was Black Panther fighting Spider-Man, and then I broke my knee while drop kicking him. So, so I lost a lot of confidence in my legs because when I had that surgery, I had my legs atrophied, to a large degree.
Was it Achilles? Was it
no, my patellar tendon, which is the tendon that holds your kneecap in place.
Yeah, right there by the kneecap.
Right. So I had snapped that, and it took about a good 3 months to heal, but it took years to get over the mental fear of snapping the other one, because the other one was just it. The only thing the doctors could say was just wear and tear. Like there's no protection against that. Like there's no amount of stretching I can do. So so there are things that I do differently now in order to do my legs, in order to but to answer your question, the diet, you really got to pay attention to what your nutritionist or what your coach says, because everyone's body is going to be different. Like mine is, I'm carb sensitive. So when I carb cycle, I can go at least 3 to 4 days without eating any carbs, whether it be like oatmeal or, excuse me, like rice, brown rice, you know, and stuff like that, in order to, and then when I do eat those carbs on heavy days, like, you know, whether it be like big muscle group days, whether it be legs or whether it be like chest or back, then I pop. Like my body just pops when it comes to the aesthetic of it.
Blows up.
Right. So, you know, being carb sensitive kind of helps in the process. And then also your, how much cardio you're doing. Like right now, I'm only doing 30 minutes of cardio almost every day. If I can get to the gym, if I can't get to the gym because of whatever reason, then, you know, I try to just continuously do just the 30 minutes a day. Whereas when I was competing, I was doing an hour every day, you know, and that's hell.
Right. I can imagine.
Yeah. I do Stairmasters. I don't like doing anything else.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Because you get some like real results with that. Like
you
know, like the shock absorption from the treadmill is hell on your knees because you're running, and then it's just not good. And then like the elliptical, I just feel like I'm not getting any kind of workout there when I do that. So yeah, the stairs is where it's at for me. And that's where I watch a lot of my anime is when I'm on it.
Yep.
You got it right here. You got it right here.
You just put it right there and then just keep going.
Yeah.
So but yeah, so like as far as what I eat, if you know, during because it's like a 12-week process. So the first 6 to 7 weeks, I'm eating nothing but chicken, some turkey, and I cycle between brown rice, broccoli, asparagus, or nothing at all when it comes to the sides. It's just straight up meat. And then the next few weeks after that, I do cod, you know, because cod is the only fish that I can eat that doesn't give me like that fishy texture or taste to it. And it just makes me sick. And but then at the same time, like cod will taste like anything that you season it as. So like
tofu in a way, or like
I don't know what tofu tastes like.
Well, it's supposed to be the same. It's supposed to be the same thing. Like what you season it with. You know, I mean,
I don't know. Like
he's like I don't.
Yeah, we don't know about that tofu stuff.
I don't know about that food that my food eats. You know, so
I eat that, you know, and then like the egg whites are important because that's lean protein, and and then like, you know, there's the week of the show, the competition, or you do the water trick where you drink 3 gallons of water every day for 4 days, and then you drop it down to 1 gallon for that Friday, and then 20 ounces that Saturday. So therefore your body is dehydrated, or at least it's tricked to look like it feels like it's dehydrated. So, you know, your skin becomes translucent because you have no fat whatsoever in you, and you know, there's no salt, there's nothing like that at all, and you see all the muscle fibers, and that's when you get tanned, because if you're on a stage, the lights basically wash you out. That's why you have to be as dark as possible. So again, having melanin is a winner.
Okay.
So but no, like that's essentially what I go through. And then you asked about the cosplay specifically. Yes, like I shit you not, He-Man was supposed to be a one and done thing. It was
way.
It was just supposed to be just for that one convention, and then I was going to be done with it because I didn't want to have to train anymore for cosplay. For that, you know, I was because because at that time I had already done Kratos, and I did Piccolo, and then I did a Sub-Zero where my arms were like iced over. And like, you know, I wanted to be like, I wanted to like basically be sculpted for those. And so I was like, all right, well, this will be the last time. This is October 2018. This is the last time I'm gonna do something where I have to depend on my body looking a certain way, because I want to get into like armored cosplay. Like I want to get into like the Master Chief suit. I want to get into, you know, like I want to do my Destiny Titan. You know, like I want to do stuff like that. And like I did He-Man because this was going to be like my last time, you know. His son bitch.
And he's like, no, he is He-Man now.
Yeah,
Yes,
I know the action figures and everything. I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, I'm just like,
there it is. There it is.
All right.
There it is. Locked in.
So that's where it goes. And then like now everything that now I'm in suits like the Power Rangers, like for combat in the grid. I'm the Sub-Zero Ranger. You can't really see too much muscle definition because one's dark colors and two, I got this big ass shield on me.
And that being said, believe it or not, I mean, my man must be psychic or something right now. So here's something that I personally think is awesome. Combat in the grid. Let's talk about it, right? So, what is it? How do you get involved? And of course, tell people where they can get to it, but like, how'd that kind of come together?
Well, so the leader and the owner of the project, Mike Patron, he and his friend and his partner Ken basically came up with this concept of, what happens if or when the Mortal Kombat ninjas meet the Power Rangers. And it, the story of it is basically Lord Zed can't defeat the Power Rangers, and then out of nowhere Shang Tsung comes over to his universe and is like, I could offer you some help, and then here like the 6 or the 7 ninjas, and we end up getting power coins, and that's how that becomes a thing. How I got into it, like Mike had hit me up about it a while ago, and I just wasn't sure if I was going to even have time to do any of this, because again, like he lives in New York, I live near Baltimore. Right. Anytime that you have to film something, that means I got to travel. You know what I mean? And and like and with these fan projects, ain't no budget in there.
Right.
And like so we do things like out of our own pockets, and honestly, if I can be completely honest, when I decided to do it, it was after I was reeling from a lot of bullshit that happened within the cosplay community. And I just wanted to just work. I just wanted to be creative. I just wanted to focus on something that was supposed to be about what cosplay was supposed to be about. It didn't have, there were no gender roles, there were no race, racial relations, and no kind of issues like that. Like Combat in the Grid is all about body positivity and just creative fun. You know what I mean? So that was like the immense joy. Like it came like right at the right time. And when I decided to do it, it just became a series of projects that I just happened to be a part of. And I did the TikTok where I did the transition from Sub-Zero to the Ranger, and that blew up. That got a lot more eyes onto the project than than they had experienced. But then I think that's also what they wanted me for, is to help elevate. gain some eyes, because I've been told by the guy by Mattel, and Mattel, he's like, you have a unique ability to gain attention. and that's when he told me to stop doing thirst traps as He-Man. So yeah, like I appreciate the opportunity to work with them and to have as much fun with it as I have, because again, like I've always been into like the Tokukatsu things and be like, I was watching Power Rangers in 1993 like everyone else was at 7 years old. I mean, like the fuck, you know what I mean? It was came around perfect time for me. So to be a part of not only Power Rangers but also Mortal Kombat in a unique fashion, I'll always thank the people at Combat in the Grid for that, and I'll always credit them to everything that I'm doing when it comes to their projects, because this isn't about me, it's about them. And the more attention that I got personally, the more I wanted to make sure other people knew that it wasn't me, it was them. And again, like you grow up watching these heroes do what they need to do to either A, save lives, or B, be a positive role in so many other people's lives, that it's maddening to me that you have those same people who watch the same shit that you did and then want to be the villain. You know what I mean?
Right,
and then or they can't help but to be the villain,
right?
Because they're shitty people,
right? That's just that's just who they are.
Just who they are. So here I am, like, yeah, I'm liable to make mistakes as a person, but I can own up to my shit. I can go back and say, I'm my bad. I'm sorry. I didn't think it was going to, go this way or whatever. But at the end of the day, the platform that I have, it was gifted to me by people who just happen to like my work. Right. It was, and it's work that I can be proud of because it's shit that I wanted to do. So, like, why would I be selfish with my platform and say, no, you're gonna have to pay me to post something, or I'm not going to share this, I'm not going to share that, when I'm a part of something that you didn't have to bring to be a part of, that is just inherently shitty. And you got people who are like that, and they've got no right to be, because they're nobodies at the end of the day.
Exactly.
They're not doing anything for anybody else's benefit but their own. And people can count, can basically count on them to be who they are every step of the way, and they never disappoint.
Right. They stay on your feed, looking for a new thing to hate on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or something like right.
It's just it's silly to me.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Hey, Jay, you want to grab a question here? Because I got good ones left, right? But you gonna send them my way again?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay. So I really appreciate you putting it out there as far as that big reveal. We decided to put something out here too. So as far as nonprofits, I'm gonna use this as a caveat. So first I'm gonna ask you, is there any nonprofits that like you really support, or like that you've done some work with? And then
I've done work. I've done work for there's a I don't forgot the people's names.
It's okay. I mean, just like what was it about? Like, what did they, if anything, what did they do?
So it was the Harvest Fest that I participated in last year. They basically threw, it's a radio station that that works with the DC government to bring together a lot of different organizations in order to expose children of DC, Southeast DC, to the arts and things that they would never normally see just in school.
That's awesome.
And that's why because like I am a LLC, as far as I'm a consulting company, where I do help people get their cosplays right, but I don't charge them directly, and it's at this point it's really just trying to get the name out there, get the logo out there, and that's happening on its own. But for the upcoming comic book day, free comic book day on May 7th, there's an organization called Cosplay, where it's Cosplay, CAUSE, Cosplay. They're working with Third Eye Comics, and like I see how the different organizations are working as best as they possibly can within certain parameters. So those are what I'm coming with.
Okay, well, yeah. So listen, that was actually a question. I was just sure with all the connections that you have and the things that you do, that you must have stumbled upon and did some work with something. And so us, Anmwe Anime, if anybody, and I'm not gonna shout them all out there, somebody goes to the website, scroll down, boom, they see the 6 nonprofits that we support, either through merchandise, giveaways, and stuff like that. That being said, I think people didn't realize, like, we were really serious. If you put $5 on Instagram, you're in a raffle and you're gonna get something awesome. We just haven't done it in a little bit, but I wanted to use this opportunity to show something off in your interview. So when we do our Wounded Warrior, there's a United States Navy chief by the name of Tywone James, and he made this right here, right? So so this is a hammer that he built himself, and we're gonna raffle it off. It says on this side, it says, "Whosoever holds this hammer, if one be worthy, shall possess the power of warrior." And on this side, warriors live on forever. No one left behind, never forgotten. I mean, but the Wounded Warrior side, and I just think it's freaking awesome. I don't even want to give it away. You know what I mean?
Honestly,
seriously, right?
we want to put it on the mantle, but
like this is amazing. Like you can't put a price on this. You know what I mean? Like so, and it's gonna all go to Wounded Warrior. And if you were here with me, I'd be like, man, throw something on. Let me take a picture of you holding this up in the sky or something. So I can, so that's just something cool that we have coming up down the line, among all the things that we, wanted to use this platform here definitely to, because we don't always show our faces. So to put that out there.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we don't. So, but yeah, let me see. Before we hit them with the last, we won't hit them with that yet. Okay, so this one might make you think. Well, from my experiences, it seems that people have a bit of a calling, right? And when it comes to changing professions, sometimes people change their professions to either stay within that calling or they found their true calling, i.e. somebody who feels like their calling is to help others, right? So they move from being EMT worker to working for the Red Cross, doing stuff, but they just know that their calling is to, there's other callings. There's to serve my country. I thought that's my call, to entertain, So one, what do you feel like your calling is? And if you weren't doing that, what do you think you would be doing?
Well, if I was still married to my ex-wife, I wouldn't be doing cosplay at all.
Bruh, we can talk about it.
It's all good.
Because
divorcees right here.
Because we cosplayed during Halloween, and that was it. The idea of actually sinking money into this, like we were, because when you're married, you have other responsibilities to think about and to put money away for. You don't think about yourself. You think about your potential family. You think about your home that you're going to have to put, have money set aside for, So, or the cars that you have to maintain. So the idea of doing cosplay while married is, if you're not already in it, if you're not something that you're already in the groove and doing, you wouldn't do it.
Right.
That being said, when I did get divorced, I got the house, and when I refinanced, I had money. and that's why that Sub-Zero looked the way that it is, because that was like $1,000. You know what I mean? There I was just dropping money when nothing, because that's what happens when you get into it. You have like a specific eye for things and how you're just going to drop that money for it, because again, you want to represent what your ideal is, and it has to look that certain way. So money helps a lot. So my calling, like I said, I didn't think that I was going to have a passion. I didn't have a passion other than playing Destiny and just
Halo guy right here. But
and see, things like, I mean, I want to go back to Halo just because the show has kind of like reinvigorated that side of me. But I play Halo the way that I have always played Destiny,
right?
And I main a Titan, my guy. like that is more me as far as my personality than anything else. And I've always envisioned Halo being what Destiny is. So it's kind of hard for me to go back to Halo when I'm seeing and playing as a Stormbreaker. I'm not Stormbreaker, but as like a Sunbreaker, or what I mean, like that's just ride Lightning type shit. I just don't do that.
Yes.
I feel you.
No, you're fine. Stick with Destiny. It's fine.
But yeah, so like I didn't have a passion. I was told by my friend who's known me since the freshman year of high school. She's like, when you were married to her, like, you were basically a shadow of yourself, and you inherently diminish yourself so that she could shine, and so now that I have that has been shed away and I'm doing my own thing, look what's happened within 5 years. And actually, look what happened within a year and a half, because that was like divorce in 2017, October. October at 2018, He-Man is a thing, and it didn't take long, you know, to be something more than what I was destined to be, still married. So the calling just happens to be a passion of mine, which is this cosplay. You know, if you you look behind me, these are all action figures that I've collected since I was like 5. You know, I can spin the camera around and you see the original Castle Grayskull, you see Turbo Man from Jingle All the Way. Like you'll see things from that era.
Yeah, I did some. We did some research. You still got the red paper mache. No.
I wish I did.
That your mom made or something.
But I mean, like there are things that you just that come with this thing. It's like, and then it apparently this all led to perfect symmetry for me to become a cosplayer. So as far as my passion and my calling, I believe I'm doing it with that. Now, I could expound upon that by saying, you know, it's been effortless to bring animation to children. Like, you know, the idea happened in happened in June. The idea of doing the animated PSAs happened in June. By July, I was promoting the Kickstarter. By August, 3 hours into the Kickstarter, we got fully funded, and then throughout the entire month of August, we just went over 2,000% of our goal.
Crazy.
So it was natural and easy to do the work. It was natural and easy to do the work to achieve that result, not that goal, but that result.
The result, like you said before.
Okay.
Yep.
So, you know, in my mind, I think I am poised to bring a block of Black animation for children on streaming services. And working with Oliver, you know, we get these 5 PSAs out. He's got 10 projects that he needs to animate and promote, and he's seen what I can do.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's, now that the pandemic is on its last legs to a degree, you know, he's got a studio that's being brought back up. You know, it means other illustrators, other animators coming in, and we're going to start running this. So my cosplay has turned into being a front man for animation projects that Black children need to see, to make sure that they know that their heroes exist.
And it all connects seamlessly.
Right. Because the only thing we had back then,
amazing.
The only thing we had back then was Black Lightning and the Challenge of the Super Friends, Static.
Static Shock on his
and Mantis.
He's taking it back.
That's all we had, you know. And then we had like we had the token Black child that was a part of Recess, or Captain Planet and the Planeteers. And then when you think about it, they all had the same look. They had the same aesthetic.
Same exact look.
You know, so it's kind of crazy that, you know, I'm in a position that was able to watch and see all that stuff as it came out, and be able to produce and help produce more.
Yes.
For not only my son but other people's kids.
Yeah.
So that was that part of your question as far as the calling. And what was the other question?
I mean, we were pretty. I mean, that essentially answered it. I said, like, you know, a sub part of the question was, you know, if you wouldn't be doing this, what would you be doing? And you know,
what would I be doing? I mean, I'm an electrician at the end of the day. You know, my dad's an electrician. He's taught me, and I'm studying for my master's exam or master's license. Congrats. Excuse me. Thank you. So,
do you solder and all that?
Do I solder? No.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm like a micro miniature solder guy myself, but hey, listen, Jay, hit him with that one, and then we got that special surprise for him. But you know, we going. But go ahead and hit him with the last one. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is gonna be a little weird, or another word for weird is like unorthodox,
because that's what we are
very much so. Yeah. And we also like to throw people off. Okay, mainly T likes to throw people off.
Yeah, I do.
So, who are not intimidated by an interview. And honestly, this has been just a great experience. I'm really glad that I finally got to meet and talk to you. But so, despite this being an interview about you, our question is, do you have any questions for us?
Well, where do you hope to take this? Like,
That's
what's your end game? Like, you're starting off as a podcast now. What's the vision for your final result?
You want to answer? You want me to take
it? Well, and the words of my great colleague here, we want to take over the world.
Yeah, we really. No, we really do. And the thing is like, but you know, I have to correct you. You said we started a podcast. I wasn't a podcaster when we met me. You know what I mean? You know, you got to think about that. And that's why the post that I posted that was posted recently was always leading up to this. You know what I mean? You'll see that there was like a series of events, like boom, 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 boom. Like, damn, when are these guys gonna stop going to events? I mean, there's a vision behind this. You know what I mean?
So like, if you look back on our very first post, like if you went when we had just started our Instagram, the first thing that we posted was about help for Haiti. Because an earthquake had just happened. Us being both Haitian, we were both affected by the earthquake that hit in January of, was it 2010, 2009?
The first one was February 2010, and another one happened in 2021. So basically, you know, you want me to, I'll let you finish it. I want to step over here.
But yeah, so when it's kind of like your vision about how like Black kids, we don't, like, honestly, growing up, if I could probably count on one hand how many Black professors I had, how many Black heroes I saw. Again, you always had that one token Black kid that would be in the mix just because they wanted to say, oh yeah, we're diverse. So as far as like Haitian and Haiti goes, it's a really poor country, one of the poorest countries in the Northern Hemisphere. And we don't see a lot of like, there's not a Haitian hero. You don't see, whenever you hear about Haiti, if it's not about the earthquake, it's about how poor it is, or as our former asshole of a president said, it's a shithole country. That's kind of what people's vibe is. So when we started this, it was a way to combine, hey, our Haitian culture and bringing that into like our nerd culture as well. And now you can take it away.
Okay, I'll take it away. Look, so that being said, for the most part, everybody knows anime, right? So you look at that and you're like, oh, that's anime. What's that? Oh, I think they messed up the top. No, that's a Haitian word. You know what I mean? And I will, Anmwe. You know what I mean? And you go down to our website, we'll tell you what you mean, everything like that. And it is so many Asians out there that don't even know that are starting to learn about it. And once they're gonna be like, wait, hold on a second. Like, cause I'm like, yo, wait, is that a Haitian word? Yo, I'm buying everything they make. You know what I mean? Like, so to essentially answer your question, where are we going with this? You know, first we started with the one of a key cause, which was Doctors Without Borders. You know what I mean? Because the country's been ravaged to the point where, you know, Doctors Without Borders was like one of the only people that could go and help, you know? So our nonprofits will always be essential. And so we also wanted to not show bias and be diverse. And, you know, that's a conversation if somebody really wants to know, okay, so why was this one part of it, but not this one? Okay, well, then we can have that conversation. You know what I mean? But, you know, I like to test people too. So there were certain things, right? Like people would reach out, you know, I've been in this game, I've done a lot of things, man. And so people would reach out and it'd be like, hey, man, that was a great picture you took of me. Like, you know, that the very first post on Instagram was about, hey, you know, donate to Haiti. No, that didn't get no likes. Cool. All right. I took a picture of you and you reaching out. I'm doing something for St. Jude, which don't got nothing to do with Haiti, right? Like just $5 for kids, and you want your picture without our logo on it. And I'm telling you, hey, how about you donate $5 to St. Jude? And then you tell me, I just really want the picture, man. And I'm like, dang, $5 St. Jude? That's messed up. But what we want to do is use this as a platform to change, well, to do positive things, whether it's through our merchandise, a portion of the proceeds goes to this. Like I haven't seen, and I've seen in other realms where they use, whatever, like football, all these, but we haven't necessarily seen cosplay and conventions, like, oh, hey, buy this shirt and a piece of the proceeds go there. Like, I'm trying to make like a cosplayer also be able to say that, hey, I also stand for this particular cause. Why do you stand for that cause? Oh, well, and then you can go in depth, about that. So we would like to just be a positive force, you know what I mean? And then eventually, I mean, this is like a 10-year plan, man. Like I'm talking.
Like honestly, so like the podcast is one part, but it would be great to eventually like own property, maybe even get into animation, especially like dubbing certain like animes, comics, all that kind of things into like Haitian Creole, so that kids in our home country get to experience all the amazing things that we like. Because a big thing with like Haitian people and Haitian culture, especially like the parents, they'll be in Haiti, they will buy a ticket to like come visit and have their child here and then go back so they can eventually send their kid, and they just won't see their kid for years. Like send it with a friend and then just like pray, because they want them to have that better life and that opportunity, because we just don't have it in Haiti. And eventually with this, as small as it started, and of course it does have all the stuff that we love to do and incorporate, but we want to eventually transition for this to be something like Haiti is known for. It's not just the earthquakes. It's not just this poverty-stricken, woe is me country. Like, oh, Haiti is this island in the Dominican Republic. Oh, and the Anmwe Anime Podcast, Anmwe Anime LLC, is also a Haitian veteran-owned thing, Force for Good, and they've done this and this.
Listen, we started control. We were just in Texas. There's this video that I used that we made. It's pretty cool, I'm circling around people and there's all these transitions and stuff that we put in there. It's on, if you have a chance, just look at it. And in the beginning of that video, you hear these little kids scream, Anime, right? You know where we got that soundbite from? It was, we were in Texas, my man, and we're sitting there. San Antonio. Me and her are sitting there. We about to go into the convention, Big Texas Comic Con, and we sitting there, wearing this anime jackets and all this stuff. And then we start hearing Creole, right? And it turns out there was some Haitians sitting over there and some little kids, and they, they can't tell we Asian or whatever. So we start speaking Creole to them, like, hey, what's going on? Stuff like that. And so we start showing them some of the stuff, and the little kids is like, what, mind blown, you know what I mean? Like saying, oh wait, like that's our. So we was like, yo, would you be guys? And we don't show their face anywhere. Would you guys be willing to give us a soundbite? So when you hear that video, those are really little Haitian kids who will know. Little Haitian kids who's gonna know that, yo, this is fly, and this is, so we're showing them that, look, man, we ain't just some, poverty stricken, no, man, we big time. And but to make a long story short, answer your question, essentially, we a lot of the things that you said in the beginning, and this is a great way to wrap up and move to that next portion, right? A lot of the things that you said about putting the time in, being methodical about it. I didn't roll up on you and talk to you about a podcast. I say, yo, I do special effects, man. I do some fly stuff with your son. You know what I mean? And then this was eventually something that we wanted to, and we have more things along the lines, and you'll see, and just watch us. You know what I mean? That's why I tell people, just watch us. You know what I mean? And you're gonna be like, oh, these people still around, But my man, thank you for that. And now, this portion of the anime, right, is brought to you by you, actually, and I'm going to explain. You were very confident when we spoke on the phone, and you said something because I was tailoring to the person I was going to interview. I was like, hey man, would you would you like to know some of the questions, ahead of time, whatever? And he was like, we already broke the curse barrier. I was like, man, fuck out of here, man, like just come at me, I'm houseball, like, shit, you can't scare nobody. That's what we want. We won't ask me, but come on. No.
I feel like he didn't quite say it that way.
Exactly how you said it. Anyway. It's like I reached through this phone. I ain't scared no questions. So anyway, right? We was like, so that's that got me to think. That got us to thinking, right? And we was like, you know what? Why not have a portion, right, of our show. And without further ado,
Anmwe Anime Lightning Round.
essentially, the minute you finish hearing the question, you gotta answer. All right.
Okay.
So, all right, Jay, hit him.
What's your favorite Pokemon? Go.
I'm a Digimon.
You are one of the Planeteers from Captain Planet. What is the power of your ring? Go.
Fire.
Fatality or brutality?
Brutality.
PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo? Go.
Xbox.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Favorite DC hero?
Oh, come
Green
on.
Lantern.
Come on, come on.
Green Lantern.
Favorite Marvel hero? Go. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Oh,
Oh,
the pressure.
what's going on here? Come on. Hey, Hellspawn. What we doing?
Century.
Nice.
All right, come on, Jay.
So you're in the gym right now working out. What song are you listening to?
Flux Pavilion. I can't stop.
All right, make sure you hit him with the
Bruh,
go.
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Make sure you hit him with the go. Come on, we got to be quick. Subbed or dubbed? Go. Oh, come on.
Subbed.
All right,
Subbed.
There you go. Come on.
Subbed.
Apple juice or grape juice? Go.
Apple juice.
Vegeta or Piccolo? Go.
Oh, Piccolo.
Gatorade or Powerade? Go.
Gatorade.
Goku or Gohan? Go.
Goku.
You're driving a car right now, and it's the only car you can drive for the rest of your life. What is it? Go.
DeLorean.
You can only cosplay one character for the rest of your life. Who is it? Go. Oh, come on.
Cyclops.
There we go.
Cyclops.
Yeah.
All right,
Nice.
come on.
You have the Infinity Gauntlet with all the stones. You snap your fingers, and one of these disappears. Which is it? He-Man or Kratos? Go.
Kratos.
You have the Infinity Gauntlet with all the stones. You snap your fingers, and one of these disappears forever. Which is it? Power Rangers or Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat.
Sunset or sunrise? Go.
Sunset.
City or suburbs? Go.
Suburbs.
Anime conventions or comic conventions? Go.
Comic conventions.
iOS or Android? Go.
Android.
Almond milk? Yes or no? Go.
No.
Free weights, body weight, or machines? Go.
Machines.
New York City Comic Con or San Diego Comic Con?
I've only been
Go.
to San Diego.
Zenitsu or Inosuke? Go.
Oh, Zenny, boy.
Automatic or manual? Go.
Oh, manual.
Tupac or Biggie? Go.
Neither.
Oh,
Ooh, controversy.
but you gotta pick one though. Got to.
Biggie.
Okay.
Favorite wrestler? Go.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Cats or dogs? Go.
Dogs.
Jelly or jam? Go.
Jelly.
Anime, comic, or pop culture cosplays? Go.
Anime. Comic.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck? Nah, we done, man. That's
I had an answer.
Give it.
2 pounds.
2 pounds.
The correct answer actually is a woodchuck would chuck as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Whatever.
Just 2 pounds.
We're just 2 pounds.
Prove to me otherwise. Prove to me otherwise.
Oh, I ain't got no proof.
Got you there.
I don't know nothing. I don't even know what a woodchuck is.
hey, man, listen. Hellspawn cosplay, Demetrius Holt. It has been an absolute pleasure, my man. You got through the first of many lightning rounds, you know what I mean? With a couple of
Yeah, because honestly, like, you know, when you think about like I haven't thought about a Marvel character. Like I should have said Cyclops, as far as like the Marvel characters, your favorite ones. But it's always been Spawn. It's always been Image Comics for me. So yeah, I fucked up. Okay.
Now look, we good. Listen, we good. Last but not least, man, we like I said, we appreciate you. First interview, and we're gonna have some other people on. Whenever you have a chance, and anybody asks you what we about, man, let them know, man. We really trying to make a change out here. So
yeah, I got some ideas of who I can, because like as soon as I get the link for this, I'm going to send this to a couple people that because if you all are interested, like I'm not going to sit here and volunteer your show, but I am adjacent, affiliated with Hidden Nerds in Charge, and they have a network of shows that they have under their umbrellas, and I'm pretty sure Blurred's Eye View is looking to expand as well. And with your specific mission, you could aid, you can just basically bring so much more to the table for them as well. So like just send me the link to this and I'll forward it to them and allow them to listen to what you all said from your own words and your own mouths, and allow them to research you all more, because like you basically put on a pitch yourself. So like I said, I'm just this is what I have in my plan, in my mind, is like I heard it, I don't have a problem forwarding it to people who may be able to help you all if that's what you all want to do. You will always have complete autonomy with what you create. So it's just a matter of y'all talking, and I'll introduce you, and I will step out of it. Whatever y'all do is y'all.
Listen, at the end of the day, I tell people, money's great, but it's those conversations, those sidebar conversations, those handshakes, the number that you exchange with the other person. Like, you can't put a price on that. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll definitely talk about that, man. But we're gonna let you wrap it up, Hellspawn, man. I mean, who'd you like to just give a shout out to? The people who helped. I mean, whatever. And we're gonna wrap it up like that, man. You want to just give somebody a shout out?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I owe a lot of my success to, everybody who's decided that they liked my stuff enough to just either share it or talk about it. So, honestly, I'll say thank you to everybody. But, the first person that comes to my mind about anything is my son, and like he really did come from the future to the past to save me, because I'm pretty sure I was on a path that needed some guidance, and he helped facilitate that just by being here. So he's always going to be someone that's going to be on my mind, and the idea that we can do more for children like him, that's going to be the goal, that's going to be the result, and we're going to just continue to press forward and build upon those results. Okay, so thanks so much.
Awesome. Hey, listen, you guys, this is Anmwe Anime Podcast. This is the second episode. We were here with Hellspawn Cosplay. He is not hard to find if you Google him, but it is at Hellspawn_cosplay. Amazing individual doing amazing things. Once again, I am T Tanaka, and I was with my ride or die,
Ueda.
All right, and this has been Anmwe Anime. You guys be safe out there.
This is the way.